What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, as you can see, it is raining, so I figured it was a good time to go over my best tips for riding in the rain. Starting with tip number one, which is smooth. In the rain, everything is more slippery, obviously. So in the rain, you want all of your riding to be much smoother. Smooth on the throttle, smooth on the brakes, smooth on your turns. Everything needs to be smoother in the rain because obviously everything is more slippery. So if you have any more, jerky motions, your chance of dumping your bike is just gonna go up. So when you're riding in the rain, if you find yourself stuck in a rainstorm, just try to remember to do everything smoother, just take it a little slower. That might not be the best day to go and try to beat your record on a windy road or something. So just be smart and be as smooth as you possibly can. Tip number two is positioning. So as you guys can see, I am in the right side of the lane right now, and a lot of you might know this, but this could be maybe more towards beginners. And I actually see people do this one thing wrong often. I see bikers doing this in the rain, and that is your lane position. If you don't remember for taking your permit test, riding in the rain, you never want to ride in the center of the lane. Why is that? Because the center of the lane is where the oil and coolant and all that drips from cars when the cars leak, and when it's wet and there's rain on top of the oil and all that, it's extremely slippery, a lot more slippery than regular pavement. So you always want to stay in either the right or the left side of the lane where like the tires of the cars are, and that's going to be your most grippy area. Another thing you want to be careful with in the rain is painted lines. The painted lines are also going to be a lot more slippery in the rain. The main place you're going to want to think about the painted lines is, if you're taking a tight corner or something, sometimes you go close to the middle line and go over the painted line in your turn. I've done that many times myself. Just if you find yourself in that situation, or just try to be aware of that before you enter your turns, and just try to make sure your line is not going to be going over the painted lines, because that's extra slippery as well. Tip number three is going to be braking. Probably a lot of you know that on motorcycles, like 70% of your braking power is with the front brake, which is true. But in the rain, if you lock up your front tire, you're dumping your bike. But pretty much as simple as that. So in the rain, you actually are going to be wanting to use more of your rear brake than your front brake, because if you lock up your rear tire in the rain, well, you're just going to skid, and you're probably not going to dump your bike because it's in the rear, and so it would just skid a little bit and you'd be fine. But not the same story for the front brake. Obviously, don't just ignore your front brake, still use your front brake, but just be a little more light on your front brake maybe than you normally would. That's all I'm gonna say. Tip number four is probably an obvious one, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. Avoid any puddle that you see. Obviously just because it's water, but also a lot of times, at least here in the Midwest, if you see a puddle, it's more than likely a pothole that has filled with water. So if you hit that with your bike, it would not be a fun time. It could be a 3-inch deep hole, or it could be a 6-inch deep hole. You never know. I would hope that goes without saying, but I figured I'd just say it quick anyways. Always got to hit a little rev under the tunnels. If you guys are enjoying this video, please hit the subscribe button. That would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate it. Anyways, on to the last tip, number 5. So tip number 5, guys, is just trust your bike. It's always a little sketchy riding in the rain sometimes if you have never done it before, or if you don't do it often. It's more slippery, it's a little scary, yeah. But trust your bike. Your bike can handle some water. If you have good tires, don't be too worried about it. Just try to kind of stick in one of the right or left side of the lane, like I said. Avoid the painted lines in your turns, and just ride smooth, like I was saying before, and you should really be fine. Your bike can handle some rain, and your tires can filter water decently. So if you find yourself caught in the rain, don't be too nervous. Obviously, I would never plan to ride in the rain. You know, check your forecasts, all that. But if you find yourself caught in the rain, just remember those tips. Just trust your bike and you'll be just fine in the rain. I mean, one last thing I will say is if it's like downpouring, you know, where there's like water like running off the road, pull over somewhere and like under a bridge or under a gas station or something and get out of the rain and let it pass or wait for it to let up. Because if it's really downpouring, like sometimes there's nothing, you can be doing everything right and there's just too much water where you just dump your bike. So, but anyways guys, those are my best 5 or so tips for riding in the rain that I do when I find myself riding in the rain. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. On my shorts, I'm doing a wheelie every single day until I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So follow along if you haven't been on that. And yeah, comment down below what kind of content you like to see or if you enjoyed the video, and I would really appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. And remember, always say a prayer, ride safe.